Hey everyone, welcome back to Feel English Podcast. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jake. Thanks for joining us again. Today we're diving into a really emotional question. Why do we miss people who hurt us?
Yeah, it's such a strange feeling, right? You'd think if someone made us sad or broke our hearts, we'd just forget them and move on. But somehow our hearts don't work that way.
Exactly. Emotions aren't logical. Sometimes the people who made us cry are the same ones we still think about before we fall asleep.
Huh, that's true. I remember after my first breakup, I told myself, I'll never miss him. But a few weeks later, I started missing the small things. His jokes, the way he made coffee in the morning. Not him exactly, but the feeling of being close to someone.
Yeah, that's so real. It's like your mind remembers the good parts and tries to block out the pain. That's what psychologists call emotional attachment, when your brain connects love and comfort to a person, even if they hurt you later.
Oh, that's a great phrase. Emotional attachment. It means we don't just remember people, we remember how they made us feel safe, seen, or loved.
Exactly. So even when they hurt us, a part of us still wants that feeling back.
It's like eating your favorite dessert, even when you know it's bad for you. You just want the taste again.
True. And that's why missing someone isn't always about love. Sometimes it's about habit, comfort, or the memories we built with them.
Yeah. So if you're listening and you've ever missed someone who hurt you, don't feel ashamed. It's part of being human.
And that's what we'll explore today, how our minds, hearts, and memories work together to make us miss people who weren't always good for us.
If you enjoy practicing English with us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with a friend.
And we'd love to hear your stories. Have you ever missed someone who hurt you? What did that feel like?
All right, let's get started.
You know, Anna, when I think about missing someone, the first thing that comes to mind is memory. It's crazy how strong our memories can be.
Totally. Sometimes one song, one smell, or even one old photo can bring everything back, like it just happened yesterday.
Exactly. I once had this song that my ex and I used to listen to all the time. After we broke up, I avoided it for months. But one day, it played at a cafe, and suddenly I was right back in that moment, laughing with her, feeling happy.
Wow, yeah, music does that. It's like time travel for the heart. It brings you back to the good times, and your brain kind of forgets the bad.
Right. It's what people call rose-tinted memories, when you only remember the nice parts of the past and ignore the painful ones.
Oh, I love that phrase, rose-tinted memories. It sounds poetic, but it's also true. Our minds protect us by focusing on the good.
Yeah, it's a bit like how your brain edits a movie. You only keep the best scenes. But in real life, that can make it harder to move on.
True. Because when you remember only the sweet moments, you start missing them, even if that person made you cry later.
Exactly. It's like missing the idea of them more than who they really were.
I think we all do that. I once missed someone who wasn't very kind to me, but when I looked back, I realized I missed how I felt around him before things got bad. Happy, safe, seen.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's almost like our memories mix truth with feelings. They don't always tell the whole story.
That's why it's important to remind ourselves memories are powerful, but they're not perfect.
Right. And that's not something to be afraid of. It just shows how much our hearts can hold, both joy and pain.
Exactly. And understanding that is the first step to healing.
So true, because once you understand why you remember someone, you can start to choose what parts you want to keep and what to let go of.
Beautifully said, Jake. Let's talk about that next. Why letting go feels so hard, even when we know it's the right thing to do. So, Jake, you mentioned how hard it is to let go, even when we know we should. Why do you think that happens?
I think it's because people are creatures of habit.
We get used to someone being in our lives. Even if the relationship isn't good, it becomes part of our comfort zone.
Ah, that's a good phrase for our listeners. Comfort zone. It means the place or situation where we feel safe and familiar, even if it's not always healthy.
Exactly. It's like wearing an old sweater. It's full of holes and kind of ugly, but you keep wearing it because it feels like home.
I totally get that. I had a friend who always made me feel stressed, but I kept hanging out with her because I didn't want to be alone. I got used to that kind of friendship.
That's such a great example. Sometimes we stay connected to people who hurt us because we fear loneliness more than pain.
Yeah, that word, loneliness, it's powerful. Nobody wants to feel it. Even a bad connection can seem better than no connection at all.
Right. Our brains are wired for connection. We crave it. That's why when we lose someone, we don't just lose a person, we lose a routine, a rhythm, a piece of our everyday life.
I like how you said that. It's like losing your morning coffee. It's not the coffee itself, but the ritual that gives comfort.
Exactly. It's not always love, it's emotional habit. We miss texting them, laughing at their jokes, or telling them about our day.
You know what? I think we often confuse missing the person with missing the feeling of being known.
That's deep, Anna. Yeah, it's that sense of being seen by someone who understood us, or at least who we thought did.
And that's why breaking emotional habits takes time. It's not about cutting someone off, it's about teaching your heart to find peace in new ways.
Nicely said. Healing doesn't mean forgetting, it means creating new habits that don't hurt.
Yes. And when we understand that, missing someone starts to feel less painful and more like a natural part of change.
So true. And in the next part, maybe we can talk about what we really miss when we think we miss a person.
I love that. Let's go deeper.
So, Anna, you mentioned earlier that sometimes we don't actually miss the person. We miss how we felt around them. I think that's such an important point.
Yeah. When I thought about someone I used to miss a lot, I realized it wasn't really him I missed. It was how I felt when he said nice things or when I believed I was special to him.
That's so relatable. It's like we're missing a version of ourselves that existed in that relationship, the happy, loved, or confident version.
Exactly. I call it missing the mirror because that person reflected back the image of who we thought we were. Beautiful, strong, loved.
That's a powerful way to say it. So when they leave, we don't just lose them, we lose that reflection.
And that's why it hurts so deeply. We start asking, who am I without that person seeing me?
Yeah, that question hits hard. I went through something similar once. I was in a relationship where I didn't feel fully respected, but when it ended, I missed her so much. Later, I realized I didn't actually miss her. I missed feeling important to someone.
Wow, Jake, thank you for sharing that. That's so honest. And it's something many people feel but can't put into words.
Thanks. I think it's important to talk about because when we understand what we're really missing, it becomes easier to heal.
Definitely. That's one of the most helpful things I've learned. When I miss someone, I try to ask myself, what do I really miss right now? Sometimes the answer is simple, like comfort, attention, or laughter.
And that question changes everything. It helps us take the focus off the other person and bring it back to ourselves.
Right. It's not about chasing the past. It's about learning what we truly need so we can give it to ourselves or find it in healthier ways.
That's such a kind and mature way to look at it.
And I try. I guess growing up means realizing that love isn't just about another person. It's also about the relationship you have with yourself.
Perfectly said. And I think that brings us to something important. How we can learn to let go and still be kind to ourselves and others.
Yes, that's a beautiful next step. Let's talk about that. So now that we've talked about understanding what we really miss, Jake, how do we actually let go, especially when our heart still feels connected?
That's the big question, isn't it? I think the first step is acceptance. Just saying, yes, I miss this person. Yes, it hurts, but that's okay.
I love that. Sometimes people try to fight their feelings or pretend they're fine, but the truth is, healing begins when we stop running away from what we feel.
Exactly. You can't heal what you don't face. And it's okay to miss someone and still decide that they're not good for you. Those two things can exist at the same time.
That's such a healthy way to think about it. Missing doesn't mean you want them back, it just means your heart is remembering.
Right. And that's where forgiveness comes in. Not just forgiving them, but forgiving yourself too.
That's a great phrase for learners. Forgive yourself. It means letting go of guilt or regret for what you didn't know back then.
Exactly. When we forgive ourselves, we stop punishing our hearts for caring too much.
I remember a time when I kept asking, why did I stay so long? Why didn't I see the red flags? But over time, I realized I wasn't weak, I was just human. I was learning about love.
That's such a powerful perspective. We all make choices with the information and emotions we have at that time. It doesn't make us foolish, it makes us real.
Yeah, and learning to let go with kindness means not turning our pain into bitterness. We can still wish the other person well, even if we never see them again.
That's true peace. When you can think of someone and feel calm instead of angry.
I like that. True peace. It's when your heart finally understands that some people are meant to teach us, not stay with us.
Exactly. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you choose to care for yourself more.
Yes, and that's something I hope our listeners remember. Healing isn't forgetting. It's choosing freedom over pain, love over resentment.
Beautifully said. And once you start doing that, something amazing happens. You begin to move forward with gratitude instead of grief.
I love that direction, Jake. Let's end today's talk with that, finding gratitude and hope after everything. So, Jake, after all the pain, the lessons, and the letting go, how do we move forward with gratitude?
That's a beautiful question. For me, gratitude starts when I stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what did I learn from it?
I love that. Because even painful experiences can teach us something valuable, like how strong we are or what kind of love we truly deserve.
Exactly. It's like turning wounds into wisdom. You don't have to be thankful for the hurt, but you can be thankful through it.
That's a great phrase for learners. Thankful through it. It means finding gratitude while you're still healing, not after everything is perfect.
Right. When I look back at people who hurt me, I actually feel peaceful now. They help me see what I don't want in future relationships, and they made me more patient with myself.
Same here. I used to think letting go meant closing the door forever, but now I see it as leaving the door open for peace, growth, and new beginnings.
That's beautiful, Anna. Gratitude doesn't erase the past, it just changes how we carry it.
Exactly. When you can say, I learned, I grew, and I'm okay now, you're free. That's when missing someone stops feeling like a wound and starts feeling like a gentle reminder of how far you've come.
I love that. It's like our hearts become softer, not weaker, more open, not closed.
Yes. And to everyone listening, if you're missing someone who hurt you, remember this. It's okay to miss them, but don't lose yourself in that feeling. You are still whole, still worthy, and still growing.
Beautifully said. Healing is not about forgetting, it's about remembering differently.
Exactly. And that brings us to the end of today's episode.
You know, Anna, today's talk reminded me that missing someone doesn't make us weak, it makes us human.
I agree. Every memory, even the painful ones, shows how deeply we can love and how much we can grow.
Yeah, and maybe that's the real beauty of it.
learning that even hurt can lead us back to ourselves.
So true. I hope our listeners take this as a little reminder that healing takes time, but it's worth it. You deserve peace, and it will come slowly, gently, in its own way.
Thanks for spending this time with us. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who might need to hear this message.
And remember, real English is about connection, not perfection. Keep learning, keep feeling, and keep growing.